you'll find your way home. You'll find your way. This wicked word is full of treason, treacherous and full of deception, but to keep believing. Hold your faith, stay strong, yeah, the time is coming. You can hide, but you will get hit while you're running. Let me tell you something, satisfaction can never happen. If you don't keep God's laws, discover gladness. It gets tragic, ridiculed as a youngster. Teased, praying on my knees to the wrong one. In the desert is a man searching for some food. Probably lied to us when they said the sky's blue. Malicious with the deeds, I know it's fear that they feeling. Slavery, that ground that we was tilling. Can you feel me? And this thing losing my sanity. Love, feeling pleasure, hate, feeling agony. If you look into the skies, you can see the stars. Blowing through the wind, blowing, you can make it far. You can find your way home if you put all love, your trust in God. Going home over the seas if you put all love, your trust in God. You'll find your way home. You'll find your way. Tell me what's the reason for revolution? G's, looting furniture and TVs on land distribution. I'm shooting for the millet, the barley, and the bushels of grain. But all is nothing if we don't call his name. Trusting in him is the only way to win. Turning from our sin, spirits humbling, seeking God's face to heal our land and destroy this place. Babel, Sheshach become defect with Tubal and Meshach, reflex, but blessed alone. Israel will be cool and mellow, sun shining yellow, moon glowing white, yellow team in the street, elders laughing through the night, glorious ending from the terrible plight. Only if we living in Yah's sight, loving the brother and leaving from the strife, trusting in Yah, never leaning on man's life. Just like you can find your way home if you put all love, your trust in God. Going home over the seas if you put all love, your trust in God. You'll find your way home. You'll find your way. A long time ago, Moses warned me, if you do wrong, I did wrong, that's why he sold me. To my enemies, I keep my head above the water. Easily influenced, never met my father. My block is full of murderers and murderers. Jails packed with blacks, the whole world and heard of us. Obliterated my heritage, can you find it? My generation long gone, we be walking blinded. Like bats flying, I got love for all my true soldiers. Praise Yahweh, Elohim, I'm sitting on his shoulders. Satan trying to find a place where I can escape. The reality of pain standing in my face. Show me grace, been a long time coming, man. I'm hunting, man, kill off all my foes, I'm gunning, man. If you look into the skies, you can see the stars. Blowing through the wind, blowing, you can make it fall. You can find your way home if you put all love, your trust in God. Going home over the seas if you put all love, your trust in God. You'll find your way home. You'll find your way. You can find your way home if you put all love, your trust in God. Going home over the seas if you put all love, your trust in God. You'll find. Rise on the land, fret not thyself, follow all Yah's commands, all Yah's commands.
Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters all over the world. I'm Yahweh, the Ben Israel. I'm a Hebrew servant of the Most High Yahweh. Now, today's topic is name change. Everywhere we went in history, the Gentiles changed our name. And Yahweh wants us to change our name back to the living Elohim. So when you find out who you are, you're supposed to change your name. Get rid of that James, Tommy, Smith, Johnson, and Jones. Give the slave master back his name. So today's topic is going to be dealing with name changes. So I want to start off in Genesis, the 17th chapter, and the first verse.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yahweh appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Elohim. Walk before me, and be thou perfect, and I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Elohim talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee.
Okay, now the Most High Yahweh changed this man's name from Abram to Abraham. So name changes start way back in Genesis. Okay, let's go to 17 and 15 verse. Start at 15, 16.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 15. And Elohim said unto Abraham, As for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be, and I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
Okay, now the Most High Yahweh changed the lady name from Sarai to Sarah. So that's twice the people got their name changed in the Bible. So let's go to Genesis 32. So when you find out who you are, you change your name back into the true and Elohim. Genesis 32 and 37. No, Genesis 32 and 27.
Genesis chapter 32, verse 27. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel.
So he changed Jacob's name to Israel.
For as a prince hast thou power with Elohim and with men, and hast prevailed.
Now that's what Israel means for as a prince has power with Elohim and with men has prevailed. That's what Israel means. Read.
And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou doest ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen Elohim face to face, and my life is preserved. And as he passed over Penuel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh, unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh, and the sinew that shrank.
See, we ain't supposed to eat the shank of an animal. That's any animal. You ain't supposed to eat the shank. So if you see the shank in the store on the animal, you don't eat that shank. And that's the reason why we don't eat it. Okay then. But let's go to Genesis 35 and 10. 10 and 11.
Genesis chapter 35, verse 10. And Elohim said unto him, Thy name is Jacob, thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. And Elohim said unto him, I am Elohim Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins.
So Yahweh Elohim had changed Jacob's name to Israel. Okay, we're gonna be dealing with name change today. Okay, let's go to Second Chronicles. Second Chronicles chapter 7. Second Chronicles chapter 7, verse 12.
2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 12. And Yahweh appeared to Solomon by night, and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer, and have chosen this place to myself for an house of sacrifice. If I shut up heaven that there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves,
See what he say? People that's called by what now?
if my people, which are called by my name,
Okay. Yahweh said, my people that's called by my name. And he said, what?
shall humble themselves,
I mean, get your name changed and humble yourself
and pray,
and pray
and seek my face,
and seek Yahweh face, not Yahshua or JC face.
and turn from their wicked ways,
Stop going to church. Stop wearing crosses. Your wicked ways.
then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land.
Now, when you do all these changes, the Almighty say He gonna hear, He gonna forgive your sins after you change. Read.
Now my eyes shall be open, and my ears attent unto the prayer that is made in this place. For now have I chosen and sanctified this house, that my name may be there forever, and my eyes and my heart shall be there perpetually.
Now you hear a bunch of people say that God has many names. That's a lie. The Almighty ain't got but one name, and that's Yahweh. Show me in the Bible where He has many names, or a bunch of names, or a lot of names. I hear all the Christians say that a lot, so they lying. Talking about God has a lot of names. Call Him anything. No, that's a lie. Read.
And as for thee, if thou wilt walk before me, as David thy father walked, and do according to all that I have commanded thee, and shall observe my statutes and my judgments, then will I establish the throne of thy kingdom, according as I have covenanted with David thy father, saying, There shall not fail thee a man to be ruler in Israel. But if ye turn away and forsake my statutes and my commandments, which I have set before you, and shall go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I pluck them up by the roots out of my land which I have given them, and this house which I have sanctified for my name will I cast out of my sight.
It said for my name, not no S on the end, meaning plural. He said one, my name, one name. Yahweh only has one name, and that's His name. He don't have no many names, or that's what the Christians tell you. He has many names. That's a lie, y'all. Well, tell them to show you where Yahweh has many names at. I want to see it too. When they show y'all, tell them to show me. Read.
And will make it to be a proverb and a byword among all nations. And this house, which is high, shall be an astonishment to everyone that passeth by it, so that he shall say, Why have Yahweh done thus unto this land and unto this house?
Okay, that's all. Okay, go to Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 3, 3:13. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 13.
Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 13. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel, be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. Yahweh have taken away thy judgments, he have cast out thy enemy. The King of Israel, even Yahweh, is in the midst of thee. Thou shalt not see evil any more. And that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, Fear thou not, and to Zion, Let not thy hands be slack. Yahweh thy Elohim in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly. who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out. And I will give them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth.
Make you a name, righteous name. There you go, name. Read.
When I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith Yahweh.
Okay, now let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah 44. Isaiah 44 and 5 and 6.
Isaiah chapter 44, verse 5. One shall say, I am Yahweh's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto Yahweh, and surname himself by the name of Israel.
Surname, change his name back to Israel. Not Johnson, not Jones, not Timmy with these plantation names that we got today. So when you learn better, you're supposed to do better. When you find out that you Israel, that you the Hebrew people of the earth, you're supposed to get you a Hebrew name, an Israelite name, and change your name back to the Elohim that we come from. Okay, read that again.
One shall say, I am Yahweh's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto Yahweh, and surname himself by the name of Israel.
That's right, surname Israel, read.
Thus saith Yahweh, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts, I am the first,
Yahweh say he the first,
and I am the
and
last,
he the last.
and beside me there is no Elohim.
So what you need with the New Testament for? What you need with JC for? What you going to church for? He say he the first and he the last, and ain't nobody but him. So that kills the New Testament. You don't need to New Testament for nothing. Okay, let's go to let's see. Let's go to Genesis 41. Genesis. I think that's what I want to see. Oh yeah, this dealing with Genesis 41. Started at 32 when they changed Joseph's name. See how now I'm talking about when we went to captivity. I'm gonna show you how they did us every time we went into captivity. Okay, Genesis 41 and 32.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 32. And for that the dream was double unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by Elohim, and Elohim will surely bring it to pass. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt.
And he looking for a righteous man.
Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the fifth part of the land of Egypt, and the 7 plenteous years, and let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, Can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the spirit of Elohim is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as Elohim hath showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art.
Boy, he bragging on Joseph. Say, Joseph, you the baddest man in the land right about now. And you even over all my people, and you're a Hebrew, and we are Egyptian. Read.
Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy words shall all my people be ruled.
Now he gonna put this Hebrew brother over everybody, all over his house.
Only in the throne will I be greater than thou.
I'm gonna be the only one over you, Joseph.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt.
He said this Hebrew brother of all the land of Egypt, because he was 1,000. He was a righteous brother. Read.
And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand,
And so that put a ring upon his hand.
and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. And
See, that's where we got that gold wearing from. Gold and wearing rings and diamonds and gold. Joseph, he started us off. He the first one started wearing jewelry. Read.
he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had, and they cried before him, bowed the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt.
In other words, can nobody do nothing in Egypt unless they go through Joseph. Joseph was the man. You had to see Joseph if you needed anything. Right. Read.
And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath-Paneah.
See, he changed Joseph's name to Zephnath Paneah. Just like they changed our name when we came to the United States, they changed Joseph's name when he went down in Egypt. Now read that again.
And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath-Paneah, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt.
So he was 30 years old when he got the key to the city, when he became the chief. Okay, but in all that, Potiphar changed his name. And why come he couldn't just leave his name Joseph? Because that's the way of the heathen. That's what they want to do. They're going to change the name. And you know, because they doing something for you now. So as I'm getting you all this, I should be able to change the name. So they changed Joseph's name. Okay, let's go to Daniel. Let's see what they did in the book of Daniel. Daniel 1, 1 through 10. Yeah, Daniel 1 and 1. Verse 5.
Daniel chapter 1, verse 1. In the third year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem, and besieged it.
Now this is ancient Babylon, not modern Babylon, but this is ancient Babylon. Read.
And Yahweh gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, with part of the vessels of the house of Elohim, which he carried into the land of Shinar, the house of his God, and brought the vessels into the treasure and he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God.
So you notice everybody got their own God. Even Nebuchadnezzar and them had their own God. Read.
And the king spake unto Aspenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes, children of whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all wisdom, and cunning and knowledge, and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank.
Now you notice every time the ruler of the city, the king, do something for the children of Israel, they gonna watch what he gonna do. Now he give them this, that, and other. Now watch what he gonna get in return. What? Read.
So nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. Now among these were of the children of Judah Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
See them the Hebrew name. That's what their name was at first. Now watch this. Read.
Unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names, For he gave unto Daniel the name of false deity,
Belteshazzar. He gave to Daniel the name of Belteshazzar, and he gave Hananiah Shadrach, and he gave Mishael Meshach, and he gave Azariah Abednego. You see, he gave them name. He named them just like they named Joseph. They named Daniel now, and they named us when we came to America. Read.
verse 8. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself.
Okay, now just because you name me John, Timmy, Smith, or Bobby, that don't mean I'm finna bow down and eat your food. I ain't finna eat these pork chops and ham hocks and chitlins. But you did change my name. Read.
Now Elohim had brought Daniel in favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my master the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse lacking than the children which are of your sort? Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king. Then said Daniel to
Okay, but that's another story about the eating and stuff. But I just want you to know they changed our name everywhere we went in bondage and captivity. Okay, let's go to Psalms 83. Psalms 83 and 1.
Psalm chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O Elohim, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Elohim. For, lo, thy enemies make a tumult,
It say, our enemies make a turmoil.
and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Okay, let's see what they did when they hated us and lifted up their head above us.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken Catholic crowds that mean real slick and cunning.
and consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
they consulted against the hidden one, which was Israel, Jerusalem, us, the Hebrews.
They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation,
And now this is how you cut a person off of being a nation. It's going to tell you how they did it, cunning, slick. Read.
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
And the reason why we don't know that we Hebrew Israelite, because when we was on our plantation, they took all that away from us. They told us their religion. They told us about their God. They told us about their system, their belief, and what they did. They didn't mention. They got rid of that name. Read that again. Start on that for, four. Read that four again.
They have said,
When they came together, this is what all of them said.
Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in
And
remembrance.
boy, they did a good job, because we just not finding out that we are the Hebrew people. We just not finding out. The last, 30 or 40 years, we just not finding out. Read.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They all came together with one consent. They all agreed upon one thing. Read.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against the Hebrew Israelites.
The tabernacles of Edom
Edom was one of the first one. Edom, Esau, the Edomite over there.
and the Ishmaelites
The Ishmaelite, the Arabs, the Muslims, Bin Laden, them,
of Moab
of Moab.
and the Hagarenes, Gilgal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of
Okay, and all these nations that on earth that got together at this time and to get rid of our name. That's when you ask a black man, well, who is you? Oh man, I'm an African. I'm an Afro American. I'm from Texas. I'm from St. Louis. You know, that's all he know. He ain't gonna tell you from Israel he Hebrew, because he don't know. Cause they did a good job on getting rid of our name. Yeah, so they brainwashed and bamboozled us. Okay, let's go to Daniel 28. No, no, I got the wrong one. See, I think it might be Psalms. Let me see. Yeah, let me try Psalms. Yeah, let me see Psalms. No, that ain't it. Okay, I guess that was it though. I had forget. Yeah, but let me let you read this to him right quick. Right. Okay. Read all that. Read all that and all that there. Now, this is dealing with my name change. I'm finna read how I had the procedure and the things that I had to do to get my name changed in Illinois. I'm from Illinois. So,
Public notice, State of Illinois in the Circuit Court of the First Judicial Circuit, Pulaski County, and read the matter of Mario Du Bois Johnson, change of name to Yehuda ben Yisrael, number 2016-MR-22. Notice of filing a petition for change of name. Notice is given you, the public, that on second, third day of the week of the fifth month, on the 3rd of 2016 at 1 p.m., I will file a petition for change of name in this court, asking the court to change my present name of Mario Du Bois Johnson to the name of Yehuda ben Yisrael. Certificate of Publication, State of Illinois, Union County. Jerry L. Ripper does hereby certify that he is the publisher of the Gazette Democrat and Monday's Pub, newspapers of general circulation, County of Union, State of Illinois, published weekly in the City of Anna, County of Union, and State of Illinois, and that said newspaper is a newspaper as defined in an act to revise the law in relation to notices, approved the second month on the 13th, 1874, as amended, that the advertisement of notice hereto annexed and made a part of this certificate has been published in said newspaper at least once each week for 3 successive weeks, that the first of such publications was in the newspaper published on the 18th day of the fourth month of 2016, and such publication was continued at least once a week in said newspaper until the second day of the fifth month of 2016, which was the last day of publication of such notice, that said newspaper has been regularly and continuously published in said city for more than 1 year last past. In testimony whereof, said Jerry L. Ripert has affixed the name of said newspaper to this certificate in the city of Anna, County of Union, instead of Illinois, this second day of the fifth month of 2016. Jerry L. Rupert, publisher, by re- received of $93.30, the sum of uh, $93.30 in full, published the annex advertisement.
okay, well, all together I had to pay this. See, I had to pay that too. That hundred and all that plus, all together. So it's almost about $200 some dollars all together. Yeah, that's the receipt. Yeah. So in other words, yeah, I got my name changed legally. So when you learn better, you're supposed to do better, brothers and sisters. So when you find out who you are, get your name changed, because it's mandatory. So to be called out to our Elohim. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to get that point across to all the brothers and sisters out there that's finding out the truth and find out that they Israel and they Hebrews. Yeah, you need to get your name changed. That's mandatory. You know, 'Cause I'm gonna tell you a little story now. When my brother, the Hebrew brother Ray, when he was in the feds, he did 25 years in the feds. He used to always be on me about my name, get my name changed. You know, I kept slacking, but I went on, buckled down, and got my name changed, Hebrew. You know, but boy, you was the one that really, inspired me to get my name changed. You know, Ray Legs out of Chicago, West Side brother. You know, my man's. You know, and I sure appreciate that, brother. You know, yeah. I got my name changed finally years ago. What was that, 16? The
Yeah,
year, yeah, 2000,
16.
yeah, 2016. That's when I got it changed. But yeah, brother, I appreciate that though. You know, Hebrew. But I'm gonna give all honor and glory and thanks and praise to Yahweh by saying Hallelujah, 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 and praise the mighty Yah. Shalom, shalom.